What's up? It's me, DWC, and welcome back to another career simulation in MLB The Show 20 on my channel. Today we are going to be doing a young player in the league who gained himself quite a lot of hype in the postseason last year. He is on the defending World Series champion Washington Nationals, and it is, as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, Juan Soto. 20-year-old phenom Juan Soto. The guy hits like crazy. He's not that great of a fielder, as you'll see once we get in here. So here are his statistics. As you can tell, very, very good hitter. Great contact, great power, very good discipline, elite discipline. His fielding is subpar, and he's not very quick. But hitting-wise, he is one of the best young talents in the league, if not the best, when it comes to hitting the baseball. He's 21 years old and 89 overall at this point. I believe his potential is 97 or 98. So hopefully he can hit that cap very easily, as he's only 21 and already 89. I expect him to easily make the Hall of Fame, and I think this is going to be a very fun career to watch unfold. One thing I will say is that in my Bo Bichette career simulation, I put an injury on him to kind of replicate the situation that's going on now in real life, so that he missed the same amount of games. But in the show, there's always injuries and stuff, so you can never really determine how many games a player truly plays. So I'm just going to pick it up from day one and simulate through his career and see how he does, because he can have seasons where he might only play 80 games anyway, so you never know what's going to happen. With that being said, taking a look at the team, obviously we have Scherzer and Strasburg and Corbin in the rotation, so that's a very good 3. And then we have Sanchez as a 4, is not bad. And then Joe Ross is kind of hurting us in the 5th spot. Will Harris, Suero, Harper, Hudson, and Voth in the bullpen alongside Elias and Rainey. That's not the greatest, could definitely improve on that. And then Sean Doolittle closing out games. Sean Doolittle's a solid closer in this game. Our catchers are both old, and I don't really see any upcoming prospects that are going to be ready anytime soon. So that's a worrying spot in the team. First base, we have Zimmerman still, with KJ Harrison coming up behind him. Second base, again, is kind of older with Howie Kendrick and Starlin Castro. Third base for right now, we have Asdrubal Cabrera, and behind him we have Carter Kieboom. And then at shortstop, we have Trey Turner. Obviously, he's locked in. Hopefully they don't trade him. And then Luis Garcia behind him, who hopefully ends up playing second base. Juan Soto, our guy, in left field. Victor Robles, the other youngster on this team, in center field. And then Eric Thames in right. So I'm going to get into the simulation. This will be year number 3 of Juan Soto's career. So I will update you at the end of this season, and then we will continue on with the career simulation of Juan Soto. So, end of the season, and the Nationals won 84 games and did not make the postseason. Unfortunate there, but we will check out how Juan Soto did in the first year of our simulation, his 3rd year of his MLB career. It looks like he had a really good year. He progressed in contact a good bit. His power versus lefties went up a bit. His fielding even got better. So he had almost 200 hits, a little bit shy of 200. He had 46 doubles, 30 home runs, a 327 average, 421 OBP, and a 992 OPS. So that's a fantastic season right there. He's up to 86 home runs already, and he's still only 21 years old. So this man is going to have a very, very good MLB career, and I'm really excited to continue simulating it. So that is what we're going to keep doing, and I'll probably see you at the end of year number 5 if we don't make the playoffs until then. Okay, so we have reached the end of season number 5 of Juan Soto's career. Season number 3 of the simulation. And the Nationals have been out of the playoffs for 2 seasons now. 3 if you include the first season, but they have not made it for the last 2 seasons. Juan Soto this season, though, had a fantastic year. 205 hits, 35 doubles, 46 home runs, over 100 walks, over 100 RBI, 335 average, 437 OBP, and a 1,065 OPS. That is a fantastic career. He is up to a 98 overall at 23 years old, and he's already looking fantastic for the career, and I assume he won the MVP and of course he did. So looking at the awards, Juan Soto tied for the batting title. He won the Hank Aaron Award, but most importantly, he won the National League MVP with a .335 average, 46 home runs, and 115 RBI. Absolutely fantastic season right there. But we don't have playoffs to watch for the Nationals, so we're going to get back into the simulation, and I will update you when something big and noteworthy happens. End of the 2023 MLB season, and the Nationals won 100 games this year. They had a very good season after losing Trey Turner in free agency and letting some of the young guys get into the team. They had a very successful year. You see Juan Soto. I'll show you his last 2 seasons. Actually, we've seen last year because it was his MVP year. This year he hit 25 home runs, so down significantly. Still hit 39 doubles. Still had over 100 walks. .312 average, .419 OBP, and a .933 OPS. Then his second man is Victor Robles. Strasburg is still here. They brought in Chapman for the season. Corbin's there. Carter Kieboom is after getting a lot better. He had a pretty good year. And they also had Bobby Witt Jr., who they traded for very early on, playing a lot, and he was pretty good. Luis Garcia, who actually started with the Nationals, seems to have overtaken Bobby Witt Jr., though. So it looks like Garcia will be the shortstop going forward, and he actually had a good year also. So the Nationals won 100 games. They're in the playoffs, and let's see how this goes. And after 4 games against the Dodgers, we are tied 2-2, so it comes down to game number 5, do or die. And we beat the Dodgers and move on to face the Cubs. Game 1 against the Cubs, we win. Game number 2, we lose. On the road for the first game, we win. Second game, we win. We are up 3-1 now in the series, and we beat the Cubs, and we are going to be taking on the Tampa Bay Rays or the Oakland Athletics in the World Series. And we will be playing Tampa in the World Series. We will quickly go look at Tampa's team. Okay, so they have Blake Snell, Brendan McKay, Yarborough, Yanni Trinos, and Glasnow in the rotation. Very solid rotation. Their bullpen, they have Alvarado and Castillo still, Ponce, Dominic Leone, and Jalen Beeks. And Nick Anderson closing it out. So bullpen is also looking good. Mike Zunino at catcher, could be better. First base, they have Nate Lowe. Looks pretty solid all around. Vidal Brujan at second with Brandon Lowe. Yandy Diaz at third base. Looks like he got a lot better, and his potential went up. He had a great year. Great 2 years, really. Willie Adames at short. One of the best young players coming up. He is the #1 prospect. If you want to see a Willie Adames career sim, let me know. So Sugo in left field, Margot in center with Kiermaier after falling off, and Austin Meadows and Hunter Renfroe in right. So they look like they have a really good team. I'm not sure if we can beat them. Let's simulate and find out. First 2 games on the road. We lose 1 and win 1. Very big score lines there. We lost 1 big time, and then we won 1 by a lot. Simulating the next 2 games, we lose both of those. We win that one. We win that one. Game number 7, we got to quick manage this. Game number 7 of the World Series in Tropicana Field, and we have Alex Wood going as our starter. Very underwhelming right there. Hopefully he can get the job done. Alright, Chris Taylor hits a double in the top of the 5th to give us a 1-0 lead. And then Victor Robles doubles and drives in another run to make it 2-0 in the same inning. A fielding error causes another run to score in the top of the 6th inning, making it 3-0 for the Nationals. A bases loaded base hit makes it 4-0. Alex Wood went 5 scoreless, but he's in trouble here in the 6th inning, so we are going to take him out and we are going to throw in Scott Barlow. And he gets the double play, which is beautiful, and a ground out to get us out of the inning. Great decision right there to bring in Barlow. The Rays are down to their final out in Game 7 of the World Series at home with Aroldis Chapman on the mound. The Nationals are up 5-0. The count is 1-1. That pitch was outside. The bullpen is active, but hopefully they do not need it, as they are just 1 out away from a World Series victory. 1-2 count. Game on the line. Can Chapman end it right here? The pitch, and it is hit to the shortstop. He'll throw on to second base for the out, and the Washington Nationals are the World Series champions. Juan Soto gets his 2nd World Series in his young career as the Nationals celebrate. World Series championship number 2 for Juan Soto. Okay, so Carter Kieboom won both postseason and World Series MVP. Juan Soto was third in postseason MVP voting, but Carter Kieboom won both of these awards. Soto still has his second World Series championship. So we are at the end of season number 7 of Juan Soto's career, at least the end of the regular season, as the Nationals were very bad after winning the World Series, even though they did bring in Luis Castillo, which is kind of confusing, and Julio Urias. They still really struggled, and German Marquez. That pitching rotation is fantastic, but they still played really, really bad and only won 82 games. But that's not what we're here for. Juan Soto is on the last year of his contract. He becomes a free agent after this season. That is why we are here. We are also going to quickly check his stats for the year. He missed some games, only played 107 games, 24 home runs, 304 average, 980 OPS. Still had a very, very productive season when he was in there. But Juan Soto is becoming a free agent, or he might sign back. But either way, I will let you guys know when that happens, and we'll show you the contract and where he goes, or if he stays with the Nationals. So here you can see it on your screen. Juan Soto re-signs with the Nationals on an 8-year, $248 million contract. I will go in and show you how it's structured if you care to see that. This is how it is. It's a backloaded contract. He is getting paid a lot of money for 8 years, so he will be 34 when this contract expires, and he is with the Nationals until then, unless he's traded, which I don't assume he will be. So it's not something I really thought of doing, but Juan Soto got selected to the Homerun Derby, so I figured I'd play it just for fun, and we ended up winning it. It wasn't very difficult at all. Pete Alonso only put up 10 home runs in the final round. So Juan Soto is your Homerun Derby champion. Juan Soto has won the Triple Crown. That is very, very rare, as everyone knows. Miguel Cabrera did it, but it doesn't happen almost ever. Juan Soto has done it. He won the Silver Slugger. He won the MVP, obviously. He won the Hank Aaron Award. Juan Soto has won the Triple Crown. He finished second in MVP voting last season, but he won it this year with a .348 average, 48 home runs, and 129 RBI. Last year, he hit 47 doubles, 41 home runs, .318 average, and an OPS of over 1,000, but still did not manage to win the MVP as he got beat out. But this year, he had 200 hits, 48 home runs, 129 RBI, .348 average, 449 OBP, 1.12 OPS. Absolutely phenomenal year. He won the Triple Crown, which is insane, and he might be on his path to be one of the greatest players of all time. Juan Soto, 27 years old, still got a lot of years left, probably 10 more seasons, so let's see how far he can get. We are at the end of season number 12, I believe, of Juan Soto's career, and the Nationals have been pretty bad for the last few seasons, so we have a few years of statistics of Juan Soto to look at. Starting off in 2027, he had 172 hits in 161 games, 39 home runs, 115 RBI. He hit .293, which is the lowest he's hit for a long time. Below 400 OBP, which is only the second time in his career that he has done that. And a .944 OPS. And in 2028, he missed quite a few games, but he still hit 25 doubles and 26 home runs, .341 average, and an OPS over 1,000. And this year, he had 162 hits, 35 home runs, 20 doubles, 92 RBI, so close to 100, .291 average, again, just under 300, .374 OBP, so the third time in his career he had less than a 400 OBP, and .929 OPS. And it looks like he's starting to regress. He is now down to a 92 overall at 30 years old. So hopefully he can hang in there for a couple more seasons and keep these numbers high, at least for a couple more years. He's almost at 400 home runs. So if he can keep going for like 5 more years, hopefully he'll get close to 500, if not past 500. But really, we just have to see how the rest of his career turns out. He still has a few more seasons left on his contract with the Nationals. So if they don't make the playoffs up until that point, I'll probably just update you when his contract with the Nationals is over. and I'm really hoping that he can manage to hold on to his rating because he still is only 30 years old, and for a hitter as good as Juan Soto, he should be able to be around till he's at least like 38 years old. But I'm going to get back into the simulation now, and then I'll stop when we have some news. Alright, so we've simulated 3 seasons since the last update. The Nationals have not made the playoffs since then. Juan Soto has had a season where he had 28 home runs, 33, and 28 again. His averages were 282, 266, and 274, and then his OPS numbers were 906, 874, 818, and he has fallen off really quickly here in the last couple seasons. He is now down to 80 overall, so what I'm going to do is something that I've done in my other 2 career simulations, where I move him to a different position that is easier to field as he gets older, because I think it's a realistic thing that a lot of teams do in baseball. As a player gets older, you move him to an easier position to handle. So what I'm going to do, as left field is already an easy position to handle, I'm going to move him to first base. I know he's not played first base at any point in his career, but first base isn't that difficult to learn if you've been playing Major League Baseball for a long time. So we move him to first base. He's an 82 overall. That might buy him one more season, but I'm thinking after this year he'll probably be done in the major leagues. But either way, I'm going to go through and simulate this next season, and then I guess I'll probably, if they don't make the playoffs, I'll probably update you at the end of Juan Soto's career. Finally, after sitting in free agency for 4 years, completely unnecessarily when he was low 50 rated, and there was no way he was going to make a team, Juan Soto has announced his retirement, so we are going to take a look at his final career stats. He finished with 2,600 hits, 530 doubles, 513 home runs. He finished with a 297 career average, a 397 career OBP, and a career OPS of 938, and his career WAR was 69.6. So Juan Soto had himself a fantastic career. I'm going to move on, and I'm assuming he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And there it is, Juan Soto, Hall of Fame career. In his career, he won 2 World Series. Obviously, one of them occurred before this simulation happened. He won 2 MVPs, and he won himself a Triple Crown. But that's going to do it for this career simulation. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time with another MLB The Show 20 video on my channel.